Good morning, my friends. There comes a time in every life when the walls close in. The dreams you once carried feel confined. The ambitions you nurtured seem locked away. And the purpose that once burned brightly feels like a distant ember. But let me tell you this, there is purpose in your prison. Life's challenges can often feel like captivity, a place where movement is restricted and freedom seems like a distant dream. But within these moments of confinement lies an untapped potential, a call to discover purpose in the very situation that feels like it's holding us back. Captivity, whether physical, emotional, or circumstantial, has a unique way of stripping us down to our core, forcing us to confront who we are and why we are here. And it is in this raw, unfiltered space that purpose begins to emerge. When you're confined, distractions are removed. The noise of the world, the rush of daily life, and the endless pursuit of superficial goals fade into the background. Suddenly you are left with yourself, your thoughts, your fears, your questions, and your hopes. It is in this stillness that clarity begins to form. You start to ask the big questions: why am I here? What am I meant to do? What can I contribute to this world, even from this limited place? This sense of captivity can manifest in many ways. For some, it's the confinement of a difficult job that feels like it's going nowhere. For others, it's a relationship that seems to lack direction, or a season of waiting that feels endless. These prisons, as limiting as they seem, are often the birthplace of transformation. They force you to look inward, to dig deeper, and to rediscover the essence of who you are. Take a seed, for example. Before it grows, it is buried in the dark, confined under the weight of soil. It could easily seem like the seed is trapped, buried with no way out. But it is precisely in that confined, dark place that the seed is activated. The process of breaking out of its shell and pushing upward through the soil is what gives it strength and prepares it for growth. Without that period of being buried, the seed would never fulfill its purpose. In life, captivity can serve a similar function. The walls that seem to hem you in are often there to guide your focus. They block out the unnecessary and force you to confront what truly matters. It's a paradox. The very thing that seems to limit you becomes the thing that frees you to discover your potential. History is full of stories of people who found their purpose in the most unlikely places. Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for decades, found a vision for freedom that extended beyond his own chains. Anne Frank, confined to an attic, wrote words that continue to inspire millions. Their circumstances didn't define them, their response to those circumstances did. In the same way, captivity can be a place of profound growth if you allow it to be. It can teach patience, resilience, and resourcefulness. It can reveal strengths you never knew you had and gifts that were lying dormant. It challenges you to think differently, to innovate, to adapt. It forces you to trust in a higher power and a greater plan, even when the way forward seems unclear. This is the paradox of captivity. What looks like a setback is often a setup for something greater. A prison is often thought of as a physical space, a place of bars and locks designed to confine and control. But in life, prisons can take many forms. They can be situations, mindsets, or emotions that seem to trap us, limiting our potential and holding us back from the lives we desire. Yet the true nature of a prison is not defined by the walls around us, but by the way we perceive them. Redefining the prison begins with shifting our perspective, turning what seems like a limitation into a place of transformation. The first step in redefining the prison is to understand that confinement is often a matter of the mind. While physical circumstances may limit our actions, they do not have to limit our growth, our creativity, or our purpose. Some of the most groundbreaking ideas, powerful movements, and profound personal breakthroughs have been born in places that the world calls prisons. These spaces, which seem designed to restrain, can become fertile ground for vision and ingenuity when viewed through the right lens. Think of the story of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor who wrote about finding meaning even in the depths of a concentration camp. Despite the unimaginable horrors around him, Frankl realized that while he could not change his external circumstances, he could control his response to them. This internal freedom, he discovered, was the key to enduring and transcending his suffering. His experience teaches us that no matter how restrictive our prison might seem, we still hold the power to define its purpose. A prison, then, is not inherently a place of punishment or despair. It is a space where potential can be tested and refined. It can be a classroom, a workshop, a laboratory for the soul. The walls that seem to hem us in can serve as boundaries that focus our energy, forcing us to confront what truly matters. The absence of distractions in these confined spaces often brings clarity, allowing us to rediscover our strengths and reshape our goals. Prisons can also serve as places of preparation. The waiting season, the struggle, the seemingly endless cycle of setbacks, these are not signs of failure. They are opportunities for growth, a time to build resilience and sharpen our vision. When the world seems to say no, the prison challenges us to find another way. It forces us to adapt, to innovate, to reach deeper within ourselves for solutions that might never have surfaced in easier times. Even the act of redefining the prison itself is an exercise in transformation. It requires courage to look beyond the immediate frustration or pain and to see the possibility within the challenge. It demands faith to believe that there is purpose in the struggle, that this place of confinement is not the end, but a pivotal chapter in the journey. Redefining the prison means embracing the truth that it is not the environment that defines us, but our response to it. When we choose to see the prison not as a place of restriction, but as a crucible of purpose, it loses its power to defeat us. Instead, it becomes the very stage upon which our greatest growth and triumph are written. Pain is an inevitable part of life. It comes in many forms: physical struggles, emotional heartbreak, financial hardships, or the deep ache of disappointment. While pain can feel overwhelming and isolating, it holds within it the seeds of transformation. The process of turning pain into power begins with recognizing that suffering is not without meaning. It has the potential to shape, refine, and propel us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and our purpose. Pain often acts as a mirror, reflecting our vulnerabilities and exposing the areas in our lives that need attention or healing. It forces us to confront the truth about who we are and what we value. In this way, pain becomes a teacher. It reveals our strength, highlights our capacity for resilience, and challenges us to rise above circumstances that seem insurmountable. When embraced, pain has the power to push us beyond our perceived limits, unlocking strength and potential we never knew existed. Transformation begins when we choose not to let pain define us, but instead allow it to refine us. The experiences that break us down can also build us up if we approach them with the right mindset. Consider the process of refining gold. It must go through intense heat to remove impurities and emerge purer and more valuable. Similarly, pain can be the fire that strips away fear, doubt, and complacency, leaving behind clarity, focus, and an unshakable determination. Turning pain into power also involves finding meaning in the suffering. While the experience of pain itself may not make sense, the growth it produces often does. Many of history's greatest leaders, thinkers, and artists have drawn inspiration from their struggles. Their pain became the wellspring of their creativity and courage, allowing them to make an impact on the world. From the ashes of their hardships rose movements, inventions, and works of art that continue to inspire generations. Pain is a universal experience, touching every life in ways that can feel overwhelming and deeply personal. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, the sting of betrayal, the weight of failure, or the physical toll of illness, pain has a way of gripping the soul and demanding attention. But within this struggle lies a profound truth. Pain, though often unwelcome, carries the potential for transformation. It is not merely something to be endured, but something that can be harnessed, shaped, and ultimately turned into a source of power. The journey from pain to power begins with acknowledgement. Pain must first be faced, not avoided or buried. Avoidance only allows it to fester in the dark corners of our hearts, growing heavier and more insidious over time. To confront pain is to give it a voice, to name it, allow its presence to be felt. This act of acknowledgement is not a sign of weakness, but of courage, a willingness to step into the fire rather than run from it. In the depths of pain, we find the opportunity to reflect on who we are and what truly matters. Pain strips away pretense and distraction, leaving us with the raw reality of our lives. It can expose hidden fears, unearth bearings, and bring clarity to what we value most. This unfiltered introspection creates fertile ground for growth. The discomfort, though agonizing, can push us to reevaluate our paths, reset our priorities, and recalibrate our sense of purpose. Pain has a transformative power because it often demands change. It forces us to adapt, to find new ways of thinking, and to cultivate resilience. Resilience is not the absence of pain, but the ability to carry it without being destroyed by it. Every time we choose to rise after falling, to move forward despite the weight of our struggles, we build inner strength. This strength is not born out of ease or comfort, but forged in the fire of adversity. Turning pain into power also involves recognizing its potential to connect us with others. Pain, as isolating as it can feel, is a shared human experience. It creates empathy, a bridge between individuals who might otherwise feel worlds apart. When we use our pain to support, encourage, or inspire others, it becomes a force for healing, not just within us, but in those around us. Sharing our stories, our struggles, and our victories allows others to see that they too can endure and overcome. At its core, pain is a reminder of our humanity. It humbles us, reminding us of our vulnerabilities while simultaneously revealing our capacity for strength and resilience. It challenges us to grow, to evolve, and to discover depths of courage we never thought possible. While pain may feel like an unwelcome intruder, it can become one of life's greatest teachers, showing us how to transform the hardest moments into stepping stones toward a stronger, more purposeful existence. Perspective is one of the most powerful tools we possess. It shapes how we see the world, how we interpret our experiences, and ultimately how we respond to life's challenges. Two people can face the same situation, yet their outcomes may differ vastly because of how they perceive it. Perspective has the ability to turn obstacles into opportunities, losses into lessons, and struggles into stepping stones. It is not what happens to us that defines us, but how we choose to see it. In life, circumstances are often beyond our control, but our perspective is always within our grasp. This is where true power lies, the ability to shift our focus and see beyond the immediate pain, frustration, or confusion. A difficult situation can feel like a dead end if viewed through a lens of defeat, but when seen as a detour or a redirection, it becomes a chance for growth, a pathway to something greater than what we had originally envisioned. The power of perspective lies in its capacity to transform. It allows us to reinterpret the meaning of our experiences, turning what might seem like a setback into an essential part of the journey. A challenge, when seen through a lens of growth, becomes a test that strengthens us rather than a burden that weakens us. Failure, when reframed, becomes a lesson that builds wisdom and resilience. Even pain, as profound as it may be, can be viewed as a teacher, pushing us to find purpose and clarity in the midst of struggle. Perspective also empowers us to rise above our circumstances. It reminds us that while we may not control what happens to us, we do control how we respond. This shift in focus changes everything. Instead of dwelling on what is lacking, we begin to see what is possible. Instead of being overwhelmed by what is wrong, we start to identify what can be made right. Perspective moves us from being passive participants in our lives to active creators of our reality. Consider the stories of individuals who have faced extraordinary challenges and emerged stronger because they chose to see their situations differently. Their circumstances did not change overnight, but their perspective did. And that made all the difference. They chose to focus not on the prison, but on the potential within it, not on the pain, but on the power it can cultivate. Their lives became a testament to the transformative nature of perspective. Perspective is not about denying reality or ignoring difficulties. It is about choosing where to place our attention and energy. It is about deciding to focus on what we can learn, how we can grow, and what we can create even in the face of adversity. By changing how we see the world, we change how we move through it. With the power of perspective, we can turn even the darkest moments into stepping stones toward a brighter, more purposeful future. Isolation can feel like one of the most difficult experiences in life. It creates a sense of separation, a void where connection and companionship once thrived. Yet within the stillness and solitude of isolation lies a profound opportunity, a chance to discover purpose in ways that might not have been possible amidst the noise of daily life. Isolation is not a punishment, but often a preparation, a sacred space where transformation begins and purpose is revealed. When we are surrounded by people, responsibilities, and constant distractions, it can be difficult to hear the inner voice that guides us. Isolation removes these external influences, leaving us with ourselves, our thoughts, fears, dreams, and questions. It forces us to look inward, to confront what we might otherwise avoid, and to explore the depths of who we are. This introspection, while uncomfortable, can be the key to uncovering a deeper sense of meaning and direction. Throughout history, isolation has been the birthplace of extraordinary revelations and breakthroughs. Great leaders, thinkers, and creators often speak of the periods when they were alone as the moments when clarity came. Moses found purpose in the wilderness. Buddha discovered enlightenment in solitude under the Bodhi tree. Even in modern times, innovators and artists often retreat into solitude to create their most impactful work. These moments of isolation are not wasted, they are fertile ground for growth and discovery.